Hi, Unpacked listeners. It's your host, Aislinn Green. If you listened to our September 12th episode, you know that Afar is celebrating its 15-year anniversary this year. I've been with the company for 10 of those years, and I love that Afar has always been rooted in the power of experiential travel. As we reflect on the past 15 years of Afar, we're celebrating our legacy and our commitment to making travel a force for good. So, for the next 4 months, we're dipping into the archives of our other podcast, Travel Tales, which celebrates the life-changing power of travel. Many of the episodes you'll hear started out as a story in the print magazine, like this episode from Afar contributing writer Emma John. Emma is an author and a wonderful musician. In her first story for Afar, Emma traveled from England to North Carolina to immerse herself in bluegrass music. A couple of years later, she decided to take a friend's 13-year-old daughter to Venice. She had such fond memories of her own trip to the floating city as a teenager and thought, what could possibly go wrong?
It's late at night. I'm 13 years old, and I'm lying in a 4-poster bed next to my sister in Venice. The door to our room bursts open, and a woman rushes in wearing pink silk pajamas and yelling a single word. Gondolier! Gondolier! The woman's name is Annie. She's our mum's best friend. She's a single woman in her 30s, and she has never before been left in sole charge of children. We're in Venice because my grandmother recently died. My mum has just nursed my gran through the last 6 months of a terminal illness, and it's been a tough time for the whole family. So Annie offered to give my parents a break and to bring us kids away to her favourite city, Venice. She explodes into the room, flings open the shutters, and when she does, we hear what she's so excited about, because outside, down in the canals beneath, someone is singing opera. A real-life singing gondolier somewhere in the streets beneath us. Quick, says Annie, there's no time to get dressed. Pull coats on over our pyjamas and hurtle down the stone steps into the night outside. Chasing through the maze of Venice's footpaths and bridges, we lose ourselves in dead ends and blind alleys, and we have to navigate by the sound of the music. So every time we hear a new snatch of aria, we pelt across empty piazzas, in my case wearing pyjama bottoms that are too big for me, so I'm having to hold them up at the waist as I run to prevent me exposing myself. After a lot of shrieking and giggling, we emerge quite suddenly onto a tiny stone bridge where we catch our first glimpse of the gondolier. His boat slips smoothly through the water, carrying a smooching couple who look quite surprised to see 2 children and their guardian in their nightclothes, giddily staring and pointing at them, me bent over double because I'm still trying to hold my pyjamas up. But the gondolier looks up and waves, and as he passes, he sings to us, and I feel like I'm in a movie. This midnight chase through the streets of Venice has been without a doubt the most thrilling and romantic escapade of my young life. That week with Annie left a huge impact on me. It introduced me to art and culture in a way I'd never experienced them before. It gave me a love for Italy I've never shaken, and it formed a bond with Annie that just grew stronger and stronger as the years went by. So, 20 years later, I'm 33 and single, and Annie has married and her daughter has just turned 13, so I offer to repay the favour. I take Annie's daughter Neve to Venice to pass on some of the magic I felt at her age, and hopefully to be the same kind of crazy chaperone Annie was to me. We stand in St. Mark's Square for the first time, surrounded by the golden lions and the glittering mosaics and the breathtaking Basilica. I ask Neve what she thinks. She shrugs and says, I've seen stuff like this before. And I am crushed. But it's okay, I think. There's plenty more in this city to impress her. So I pack our schedule with activities. We do the glass blowing at Murano and the beaches at the Lido. We do the frescoes at the Doge's Palace and the fish market at the Rialto, and I even get the waiters at Harry's bar to mix her own Shirley Temple. And none of this seems to impress her at all. As soon as we finish one thing, she looks up at me through a wisp of blonde hair, her wide blue eyes emanating boredom, and she says, "What are we going to do next?" And that phrase becomes like a dagger in my heart. Every time I hear it, I know I'm letting her down as a companion and boring her as a human being. I need to up my game, so I book us into a workshop at a costume maker's, and we spend the afternoon creating and decorating Venetian masks. And this reminds me of the spellbinding stories Annie told me when I was a teenager of secret societies and deadly jewels and Casanova. And I tell Neve all that I can recall of these, hoping to inspire her with that romance. And she finishes her mask and gives it a satisfied nod and looks up and says, "What are we going to do next?" I can't tell if she's having a good time, but I know I'm not. I had pictured Neve being overwhelmed with excitement and gratitude. I'd imagined sharing the same kind of wild, extravagant fun I'd had with Annie. But I have a heartbreaking feeling she's just waiting out this week, desperate to be home. Meanwhile, I spend every moment worrying what we'll do when the next distraction runs out, and by the middle of the week, I am anxious and sleepless and exhausted. And one morning, while Neve is still asleep, I grab my phone from beside the bed and hide it under the covers and frantically text Annie. "Help! What did you do with us? ? Exclamation point. A couple of minutes later, she replies, "Took siestas? Sat in the square and made you draw things?" I hadn't sketched since I was a teenager myself, but before we left, Annie had slipped a spiral-bound sketchbook and a tin of pencils into the top of my suitcase. So that morning, over breakfast, when Neve asks, "What are we going to do next?" I point at the sketchbook and I say, "Today we are going to draw things." A little way from our apartment, Neve picks a spot with a view of an ancient and crumbly building. We unfold the book across our laps and start our wobbly line drawings. I'd forgotten that I enjoyed sketching, forgotten that I even knew how. But as I watch Neve concentrate hard on a casement window, I have this blast of memory from 20 years before of me and my sister chewing on the ends of our pencils and sharing an eraser between us. And as I hunch over my side of the book and become absorbed in the columns with their leafy capitals, a new feeling descends on me, kind of like a peace. After a while, Neve looks at my side of the book and tells me my drawing is very good. "I like the way you've made it lean to the left," she says. And I tell her hers is good too, and she smiles at me and says, "Let's do some more." So we find more subjects: wells, palazzos, the bell tower of the Santa Maria Gloriosa. And when we've had enough, we wander through town, feeling very proud of our achievements, and suddenly anything seems possible. Neve suggests we play a game. "I'll flip a coin," she says. "Heads we go left, tails we go right." And suddenly our afternoon is an exciting adventure, and it takes us through pretty squares lined with olive trees and leads us to elegant shops where we try on silk scarves that we wrap round our heads like movie stars, and expensive grown-up perfumes that we spray all over each other till we stink. Eventually we come out at St. Mark's Square again, only this time Neve wants to go in the Basilica. So we stand in line for half an hour before we get to the door, and all the while my newly delightful companion is bubbling with conversation. "Look at that cute dog. I love small dogs, not big ones though. When did you get your ears pierced? I want to have mine pierced, but Mum says not till I'm 16. Have you read the Pittacus law books? Oh, they're amazing. Let me tell you all about them. We're within spitting distance of the vast cathedral door when a marshal shakes his head and points at Neve's skirt. It's too short. It might offend God. He can't risk it. Neve leans over and whispers to me that she can fix it. So she grabs her skirt and wiggles and twists and wiggles until her hemline reaches her knees. Of course, this means that the waistband is now barely covering her butt. So as we walk up and down the aisles of Venice's most holy and magnificent edifice, she is clamping her hands over her midriff to make sure she doesn't expose herself. And we're trying so hard not to laugh out loud, it's making us giggle even more. And by the time we reach the altar, she is doubled over with laughter, holding her skirt up just as I had to hold my pajamas up 20 years ago. And finally, we are sharing the magic of Venice. We leave the city 2 days later, and it feels way too soon. I'm really enjoying Neve's company, and being chaperone to a 13-year-old suddenly feels like a lot of fun. A real excuse to act as a teenager, in fact. Neve sits down in her seat, and I sit down next to her, and she turns and asks, "What are we going to do next?"
Thanks for listening to our celebration of 15 years of Afar. We have so much more to share. To dive in, visit afar.com/15. The link is in the show notes. We've also included links to all of Emma's stories for Afar, as well as her social media handles. We'll be back on October 22nd with a story from Afar contributing writer Chris Cullen, who traveled to Tokyo to rent a friend.